I'm Mo Zahedi, one of the broker owners of Glasshouse Realty Group. Just want to take a minute today and kind of touch base. I know quite a few of you probably have seen the recent development with the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and the settlement that came out earlier this year and recently went into effect in mid-August. And kind of what that looks like and what that means for our industry, clients, realtors, etc., moving forward. So I think first, the most important thing is kind of just take that 30,000 foot view of what this settlement entailed. I think there's been a lot of misinformation, obviously a lot of social media input and speculation, but just kind of dial in and look at it surface level as to, what this lawsuit was about. And essentially, where this stemmed from was there was a verdict that we had violated some antitrust laws and that there was a lack of competition. And essentially, what it boiled down to was the idea that commissions should be negotiable. That there is no standard in our industry. There's not a set commission. There's not a set way of doing business. And so moving forward, what this settlement has, essentially dictated is that, we need to make sure our clients, that realtors, that everyone understands that the commission has been and always will be negotiable. The seller is not mandated to pay a specific percentage to share a specific percentage with the opposite side. I think that's been indicative of our industry, if maybe not transparent as it should have been. We've always had the opportunity for sale by owners, for flat fee brokerages and marketing, or for just a commission in general to be negotiated upon the deal and based around what's being involved. And so with this settlement, what we're seeing is a change to the way that buyer compensation is being advertised. In a previous world, our industry through the MLS would showcase what a seller was willing to provide in buyer compensation on the MLS that was viewable to the agent through our access. That has been since removed. That will no longer be showcased. There will no longer be an aggregate website that shows a buyer agent, what compensation, if any, is being proposed. And the idea there is to, again, encourage negotiations in a more competitive market. Alternately, what went into place as a significant change is they have mandated a buyer agency agreement form. So what that means is before any one of our agents may work with a client and show them a house, is they're going to enter an agreement that showcases, again, how this compensation plays out in our industry. Meaning that there's going to be a conversation between buyer and agent that says, hey, in some instances, maybe we'll be able to negotiate my commission as a buyer agent into the actual deal. Maybe you're going to be paying for that commission, or maybe it's a combination thereof where both parties are contributing a portion. However, whatever that looks like, is going to be discussed up front and kind of bring all parties to the same page so that there's that full transparency of what our industry looks like and where that compensation comes from. So, I think where some of the misleading pieces coming from our media, social media, et cetera, where, death to real estate, end of the commission, et cetera. And, those things aren't necessarily true. Again, our industry, in my opinion, has always been negotiable. It's been competitive, but the important part is we express that there's not a standard, that there's not a set way of doing business. That being said, I still think buyer agents are going to be paid. They're just going to need to negotiate that up front as to who's doing the paying. As well as sellers are still probably going to offer compensation in many aspects because they're going to want to be competitive and draw buyers to their homes. So again, I think the important point from the settlement and the discussion that needs to be had by all is the fact that this is always a negotiation, that it's between the client and their agent as to how they're going to set that up and what it's going to look like moving forward for each specific transaction.